Hello, today we will be going over some more information regarding interrupts and more so specifically interrupt handling strategies, what they are, how they work, and what purpose they serve when regarding interrupts. So without further ado, let's begin and talk about it. So our next topic is what is interrupt handling strategies? Well, interrupt handling is a process of managing and responding to hardware or software interrupts in a computer system. It ensures efficient execution by temporarily pausing the current task to handle high priority events. And so interrupt handling allows a system to respond to external or internal events without constantly checking for them. It also can improve the system efficiency by executing only when needing and reducing CPU overhead. And its common interrupt handling strategies include polling, vectored interrupts, and priority-based handling. So next, our topic is what is I/O? This also stands for input-output, and this refers to the communication between a computer and external devices such as keyboards, monitors, and/or storage. Some points to consider are input devices. These are devices like keyboards and mice that send data to the computer. And next we have output devices like monitors and printers that display or transmit processed data. And we also have input and output management. This means that the operating system controls data transfer between the hardware and the software. So our next topic is comparing polling versus interrupt-driven input-outputs. So polling and interrupt-driven input-outputs are two techniques used for handling input and output operations in a system. So the choice between them affects system performance and CPU efficiency. So with polling, the CPU repeatedly checks the device at regular intervals to see if it needs attention. This can waste processing power if no input is available. With an interrupt-driven input-output, the device sends an interrupt signal to the CPU only when it requires service, allowing the CPU to perform other tasks in the meantime. So, the efficiency comparison between the two is that an interrupt-driven input-output is more efficient because it eliminates unnecessary CPU usage, while polling can be inefficient as it constantly checks devices even when no action is needed. So our next topic is a pro and con approach to each system performance and the resource use. So both polling and interrupt-driven input-output impact system performance and resources utilizations differently. With polling, some of the pros is that it's simple to implement, it's easy to design and control, it has predictable timing, which means it works well for time-sensitive tasks, but the cons are that it can waste CPU resources as it's constantly checking devices even when idle, and it's not scalable, meaning it's inefficient when handling multiple devices. And for input and outputs, the pros are that it is efficient with CPU usage. The CPU handles other tasks until interrupted, and it is scalable, meaning it handles multiple devices without unnecessary polling. But the cons of this is that it is more complex, and it requires interrupt handling mechanisms. Also is the potential for overhead, meaning that higher interrupt frequency can slow performance. So our next point is exploring the operating system and interrupt handling for efficiency. So operating systems use interrupt handling to manage tasks efficiently and ensuring quick responses to events while optimizing resources usage. So some points to consider is task switching, and how we can get the operating system to handle critical tasks first by responding to high priority events, and then with the resource uses, so instead of constantly polling, the CPU performs other tasks until an interrupt occurs. And lastly, we have the improved system performance, which means it allows interrupts to allow multitasking and balancing responsiveness and efficiency in managing system resources. Okay, with that, this last slide will mark the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this helped with learning a little bit about handling strategies and just going into a little more depth of what this is and what it might mean. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you.